I'm Summer Morris, CPA, ex-corporate accounting girl and health coach turned CEO of a multi-six-figure business while helping others build financial security, healthier habits, and a better quality of life. It wasn't that long ago I lacked the confidence, the right plan, and time to focus on growing my small but mighty business, while also having time for healthy activities I wanted to pursue away from my desk. Fast forward past many failures and lessons learned, and you'll see the healthier business and lifestyle I have today. One that changes lives while giving me more freedom than I ever thought possible. I created the Fit to Endure podcast to share simple, actionable, step-by-step strategies to help you do the same. So if you're looking to feel better, live a healthier life without blowing your budget, start a side hustle, or train for your next race, this show will help you make an impact and achieve your goals without creating the overwhelm and burnout that makes you want to quit. You ready? Let's get started. Hey friends, welcome to the Fit to Endure podcast. I'm Summer Morris, CPA, your host, and I'm thrilled to bring you episode 23. Today we're diving into a topic very close to my heart, crafting your ideal day. But first, let me share an amusing, albeit slightly painful story to kick things off. So there I was a few days ago on one of my favorite trail runs. The air was crisp, the birds were singing, and I was on top of the city as I looked down at the beautiful landscape of Sonoma County. As I neared the end of the run, I could see the finish spot in the distance where my car was parked. My pace picked up as I ran downhill, and my focus was laser sharp on the finish line. What I failed to notice, though, was a sneaky little rock lurking in the shadows just ahead of me. And you could probably guess what happened next. I tripped and landed with a thud. My left knee was bloody, and I had a dirt-filled road rash right on top of the scar that had just healed on my left leg from the recent bike accident. It was quite a sight. Plus, when I landed, the brim of my baseball hat was what actually hit the ground. It saved my face. Just imagine you're running, you things are feeling good, you've been so focused, laser focused on all the rocks and twigs and roots ahead of you. But now you're at the part you feel like, oh, this is the easy part, this little downhill section before you head to the car. But that's where I started to lose the focus, and then I flew to the ground eating dirt and getting some blood all over the place. I even have blood in my shoes. Gross. Well, anyway, it was quite a sight. And that baseball hat of mine, that at first I was like, I don't know if I should wear this hat. It feels like it's blocking my vision on the way up. I'm so glad I wore it, because as I hit that rock, not realizing I hit the rock, and I just kind of flew Superman style face down toward the dirt, it was the brim of the hat that saved my face. Oh my gosh, my brim of the hat is now crooked, filled with dirt on the one side. My gloves were dirty from the land. And then I had the bloody knee. So gross. Running down, blood on my shoes. Disgusting. Anyway, if you're unfamiliar with the recent bike accident I'm speaking of, where I got the initial scar, I invite you to check out episode 16, How I Escaped Alcatraz but Got Caught with a Broken Collarbone. I'll have it linked in the show notes. So this little misadventure reminded me of an important lesson. While keeping our eyes on our long-term goals is crucial, we can't afford to lose sight of the present moment and the small steps we need to take to get there. If only I'd paid more attention to where I was stepping, right? Because with this trail run, it started with a very steep ascent for the first 2 miles. And the next 2 miles was coming back down. And so as I'm getting close to the car, I'm thinking, okay, for today's run, it's going to be a long run. I just did this big uphill, big downhill. When I get near the car, I'll use the restroom and then head down this other path for more of a rolling hill style. And so because of that, I was so focused on those next steps. I totally failed to just focus on what was in front of me at that moment. Needless to say, when I ate dirt, bloody knee, looked down, time to stop that Garmin watch and say, okay, call it quits for this long run. It's ending right now. The irony is that no more than 5 minutes before falling in the park at Taylor Mountain, which is this gorgeous mountain in Santa Rosa that has a fairly steep climb to the top of it, that once I got to the top of it, I was thinking, oh, I'd love to post this on Instagram. And so I posted a picture of this almost like a clothesline where people hang locks and other mementos just to put that they were there at this spot. And I literally had a picture of it saying, good morning. When I get back to my desk for tax prep, I'll be in quote recovery from today's trail run. What's your fun today? Not realizing that my recovery was actually going to be a long shower, dealing with all the blood and mud and trying not to pass out because I usually am so good at fainting at my own side of blood. I know, right? But the irony is that I'm at the top of the Taylor Mountain, snapping this beautiful picture saying, hey, when I get back to my desk for tax prep, it'll be kind of like, quote, recovery for my legs from this trail run. Not realizing that it's going to be true recovery, given I'm going to be covered in bandages from my knee to almost my ankle. So fun, right? And the elongated shower for sponging with all the antibacterial soap and the sponge. Using that stool I already had thanks to the collarbone accident, I was all prepared. I have all the things. I reached out to my boyfriend and said, hey, this happened, and I need to go get some more Band-Aids because I ran out of this particular size. And he jokingly said, I think you should just go buy all the Band-Aids. Just buy all the Band-Aids they have, based on the experiences I've had this week. And I sent a picture of my bloody knee and the dust and the blood on the shoes to one of my athlete friends who lives out of the area. And he apparently shared it with his girlfriend, who said, she said you should probably stay inside. Given a couple months ago, the collarbone accident, before that, twisted my ankle, all the fun things, all the good stuff. Life is fun. Life is so fun. Now let's segue into today's topic. Crafting your ideal day is all about defining your vision for yourself. When you take the time to imagine your ideal day, you're essentially creating a snapshot of what you want your future to look like and who you wish to become in the next 1 or 2 or 5 years. It's like turning on your GPS and setting a clear destination. You know where you want to go, and now you just need to map out the journey to get there. While having a 10-year plan, a 5-year plan, and even a 1-year plan is important, focusing on today and this week is just as crucial. And be sure to look out for those rocks and twigs too. These smaller steps add up and move us closer to our larger goals. To illustrate this, I want to walk you through an exercise I use to craft my ideal day and week, and I invite you to do the same. You can find a free download for the steps I'm going to be sharing at summermorris.com/23. That's summermorris.com/ and the number 23. Are you ready? All right, let's do this. Grab a journal, notepad, a blank sheet of paper, or that downloadable handout I just mentioned. And down the left margin, write a timeline for each hour from your ideal wake-up time to your ideal sleep time. For example, I like to get up at 5 a.m. Maybe you think I'm bananas for getting up so early. Maybe you like to get up at 4 o'clock and you think I'm sleeping in. Anyway, I like to get up at 5 a.m. and then go to bed around 9 p.m. Now, I'm not saying that every morning I get up at 5 and every night at 9 o'clock, just, the life happens perfectly and end up there. Not at all. But this is my ideal day, right? So my ideal day, get up at 5, ideal bedtime, go to bed at 9. So my timeline starts with 5 a.m. and ends at 9 p.m. And it looks something like this down that left margin. 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., all the way down to 9 p.m. Next, at the top of the paper, write Monday. Now fill out in a column format how you'd like to spend your ideal special Monday. For example, my ideal Monday would look like this. 5:15 a.m., wake up, coffee, play with the kitties, stretch, yoga. 6:30 a.m., leave for a trail run. 7 a.m., the trail run starts until 10 a.m. 10 a.m., leave the park. 10:30 to noon, shower, get ready. Noon to 1:30, lunch with whoever. Maybe it's a friend, a loved one, a client. Just fill in the blank, lunch with someone. 1:30 p.m. to 6 p.m., client meetings, QuickBooks Online accounting work and training sessions with clients, tax preparation, respond to emails. 6 p.m. to 7, love and connection time. Got to put that in. 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., read, journal, play with kitties. 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., wind down using my power down hour. 9 p.m., bedtime. After looking at this on paper, I thought, hey, this looks like a good ideal Wednesday too. So at the top of the paper, I just put a slash next to Monday and wrote Wednesday. So now this is my ideal Monday and Wednesday. I repeated this process for the rest of the week, customizing each day to fit my ideal schedule. You can do the same. Remember, this isn't set in stone. It's meant to be a flexible guide that helps you envision your ideal week and take actionable steps towards your longer-term goals. Once you have your ideal week, which can include writing down your weekend days too, those ideal weekends, if you want to stretch out the exercise, set your notebook down and allow yourself some time to daydream about what you wrote. Let it season. What you might find with the first version, similar to what I found myself, is I forgot to include some aspects that I want in my ideal week. So from there, I rewrote my ideal Monday, including some of those things I'd forgotten, and then continued with some edits for my ideal days on the journal pages for the rest of the week. Let's pause for a brief commercial break. Are you an entrepreneur working nonstop in survival mode, trying to figure out how to increase sales and make more money? Is your unpredictable cash flow stressing you out? Do you avoid looking at your bills or bank balances because you feel overwhelmed by your money situation? Are you unsure how much to pay yourself, so you avoid doing it all together and instead use your business bank accounts for personal purchases? Well, imagine instead if you can look at your bank account balance with greater confidence. Pay yourself regularly every single month. What if you had a system in place, an easy system, for every dollar that came in? Some for you, some for expenses, and some set aside for the tax bill. Imagine if paying taxes was more of an inconvenience than a where am I going to find the money panic. And what if you had a proven method for eliminating debt? You can learn the simple steps to building your profit and cash flow roadmap in my group coaching program. It's called Steady Profits and Consistent Cash Flow. It's a one-day live interactive workshop in Zoom with 2 separate 2-hour sessions for a total of 4 hours. It's recorded for later viewing, so if you're not able to attend live or just want to rewatch it, I like to say it's better than Netflix. You can learn more at summermorris.com/profits. That's summermorris.com/PROFITS. I'll see you inside. Welcome back. I'm curious, what would you write down for your ideal day or your ideal week? You can share your ideal day with me via email at podcast@summermorris.com. That's podcast@summermorris.com. What I enjoy about this exercise is that sometimes we're so focused on our long-term goals, we lose sight of the small steps that we can take today to move closer to those long-term goals or ideal life. What are some small steps we can take today to help get us closer to living the life we want, instead of just living reactively because we feel like our lives are just so rushed, so busy, I don't have any time for this. Whoa, wait a second. Are you saying we can't find 5 or 10 minutes just to turn everything off, even go in the bathroom, shut the door, and bring a piece of paper and a pen with us and write down, what would you like your ideal day to look like? You deserve this. You totally deserve this. From there, what are some actions we can take to move us a little closer to that ideal day? What I like to do is once I have something like this on paper, I know that it's still totally flexible, is that as things come up, as opportunities come up, invitations to do this or an opportunity to try that, I like to stop and go, wait a second, is this going to move me closer to or farther from my goals? With all this stuff, closer to or farther from. And it all depends because we have different goals. You know, we might have certain money goals, and so we want to step away from certain activities so we can focus on those money goals. Or maybe we have big social goals or goals for deeper connection with other people. And so when we get the invitation for something that we think we'd enjoy, hey, that's something we'd both enjoy and move us closer to that goal of deeper connection with the people around. Let's do it. Let's find a way to schedule that into our system. So what actions are we taking that are moving us either closer to or farther from those desired outcomes? And what I love about the crafting your day exercise is that it's something you can return to over and over again. For example, right now, I have my 2 separate businesses. There's the CPA business, which is primarily focused on accounting services, income tax preparation, and then there's the coaching business. And looking at areas that I want to grow and improve and add greater value to the offerings that I'm providing while still having time for myself and the athletics and community time and time for closeness with people that I love around me. and just laying that out, because I feel like it can be so easy saying yes to so many things that we end up with this overwhelm and stress that we brought on ourselves because of that thought of when we say yes to one thing, we're saying no to something else. If we say, yes, we're going to go to that party, we're saying no to doing whatever that other activity is that we thought we were going to do that would get us closer to what we thought we wanted. And so it's just a fun exercise. I'm really enjoying doing the exercise myself as I look to refine what the coaching services are going to look like, what the membership is going to look like, because I have a membership opening up very soon. It's going to be a monthly membership that's going to include income tax guidance, accounting guidance, how to set up your own virtual business, and all the fun things. So yeah, just having a lot of fun with the Craft Your Day exercise, because I believe it's so important that how we live our life each day is in as close alignment to how we want to live, because I feel like it's those times when we're out of alignment that can create that underlying stress, overwhelm, tension, frustration that can then find us leading ourselves over to some level of distraction to avoid those feelings. So I just truly believe that the more alignment we can have with how we execute our days, or the more alignment we have with how we live our days and in relationship to the life we want to live, that the easier, more freeing, and more focused we can be. If you'd like more guidance on how to reduce overwhelm with clear, measurable goals, you can find some tips and tools in episode 1, which has the same name, How to Reduce Overwhelm with Clear, Measurable Goals. You can also check out episode number 2, titled Know Your Purpose in 45 Minutes or Less. I'll be sure to have links to those 2 episodes in the show notes as well. And next week, we're going to be layering on to the stuff we're working on here. So be sure, please give yourself a few minutes to craft your ideal day and then bring it back for next week's episode. In next week's episode, I'll share how to align your ideal day with your money goals, helping you turn your vision into a tangible reality. So stay tuned. And until then, keep your feet steady on the trails and those eyes open for those sneaky rocks. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please share it with a friend, like or subscribe. You can even leave a review. Because I am Summer Morris CPA, this has been your episode number 23 of the Fit to Endure podcast. I hope you have a fantastic, focused week, and I will catch you next week. Bye-bye for now. Namaste.